For all of you out there listening, if you are in the market for any kind of software development needs, check out Studio NoCode. It's our agency that's built on Bubble experts with nearly a decade of experience building all kinds of Bubble apps: marketplace, social network, payroll company, catering business, data room, ad tech, legal tech. We got a little bit of everything. We've seen it all, and that helps us translate all of our knowledge into your app to build the best product for your customers. We built it professionally, we built it to be secure, and we built it to scale. And we're going to do all these things on time and on budget. So if you are looking for help getting off the ground, getting something to market, or anything in between, give us a call or an email or a carrier pigeon or whatever you want. Studio-nocode.com. We'll probably be there.
You're listening to This Week in No Code plus AI, with weekly episodes sharing the latest advancements of AI, plus exclusive interviews with founders using these tools. So without any further ado, let's get started. Welcome to This Week in No Code. I'm your host, JJ Engler, here with my co-host, David Pal. David, where in the hell are you this week?
I think we should just take this and send it to GeoGuessr and see if you can figure out where I am. I am
Perfect.
in Hamilton, New Jersey today.
I was gonna say it looks like you're in like a Clue, like video, like board game kind of thing.
It is an older office. I'm in a law office.
Fantastic. Well, I'm back in New York. Last week I was in Italy for the software offsite, but we have another show for you this week in No Code plus AI. We have a
You added
CEO
no
coming on.
adjectives on that. You just said we have a show.
Really?
Not even like a great show. It's just a show. The
It's
show
gonna
is
be a
back.
great show.
Here we are. It's gonna be a
The
great
show's back. Here we are. We are bringing on a CEO later in the show, around the 15-minute mark, to discuss his company, Assign AI. Really cool company that allows you to take a screen recording of a task that you're doing, and then it'll create an automated workflow to repeat that task for you on an ongoing basis without needing an API or anything like that. But before that, let's get into the news of the week, because some more companies got bought this week. Some more people left
More
AI
people
this
are
week.
moving plus
And
AI.
there's a lot of things going on. So, David, why don't you start us off with Airtable's news of the week?
Airtable has acquired Doped?
I don't know.
DOPT. I don't know how to pronounce it. Airtable has acquired this company, and they are a startup that specializes in building AI experiences with onboarding. And so they are joining Airtable as an acqui-hire. So their services are being shut down on August 15th, and they are going to help Airtable bring in more AI into their platform. This is really to help just bring a whole team together and keep using them and their camaraderie. And I'm excited because this means Airtable is going to get more AI, right? That means
Yeah.
there's more stuff coming into
Yeah, they
Airtable.
recently launched their Copilot interface. It's been received well. Also, Zapier is also building more on the AI side. Those two are kind of competing in a full stack way
Mhm.
for this type of business. We saw Zapier just make that acqui-hire from the guys over at NoCode Ops. Now Airtable's following suit with another acqui-hire for, folks that know how to build these AI features. This company Doped previously raised 5.1 million in a seed round. So I'm not sure how big the acquisition was, but it was for something. And I think it continues to solidify Airtable's position of an AI, maybe not first, but an AI driven
Yeah.
company that's, building AI full stack.
Yeah, Airtable is not a company you first think about with AI. And so this is a way for them to acquire a team, right? They're competing with Anthropic and Google and Microsoft and OpenAI for AI talent. And this is a way that they just get to lock in the talent for a few years, probably with some kind of handcuffs. And the
Mhm.
founders, now get an exit, right? And so you kind of get a little bit of everything that you need here.
Yeah, I
But
like that. I like that
but
take.
handcuffs are off in other environments. Why don't we move on to OpenAI? What's happening?
OpenAI is going to lose Greg Brockman for the rest of the year. So he's going on an absence of leave, while John Schumann, a key research scientist and co-founder, is leaving to join Anthropic, a rival AI startup. I don't know how a co-founder can just leave and go to the rival. like, how does this make sense? Do co-founders not need to sign like not competes?
Well, non-competes don't really work in California. There is no non-compete. It is really only different in the time of an acquisition, right? If you acquire a company, then you have some deep, institutional knowledge. You can't go somewhere. So that's usually the only time these non-competes are enforceable. But I don't really know what the point of this was. Like, they've been there long enough. They've gotten their equity. It's all vested.
Yeah,
Like, I guess that's part of why they're leaving. Maybe Anthropic's just throwing even more money at them. Or, I don't know. There have been too many pundits on Twitter going, well, let me tell you how OpenAI and Theranos are the same. And you're like, okay, hold it back. We don't know anything that's going on behind the scenes. It
yeah.
is surprising that, they're switching. But also at the same
It's a
time,
lot of
like,
switching. Like they're only down to one of the remaining co-founders aside of Sam, which is I can't really pronounce her name. Wojcik? Is it? Do you know?
oh, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce her name either.
Yeah.
I,
It's them two out of I don't know, was it 5 or 6 total in the beginning?
yeah, I don't know. I do think that, like, you think about, they are a $100+ billion company now, but a few years ago they weren't. And the type of company it was then versus it is now
Yeah,
kind of requires different leaders and different people to be in those
it's
seats.
true.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, normally this would happen over years, but with the rise of everything so fast, it seems like that has just compressed. And the
Yeah.
exit, like, one talents, there's more people entering the market trying to get jobs. The offers are crazy. Maybe, they're driven by money. Maybe they see something in Anthropic, for example, that's like, hey, like, OpenAI is going to be doing great forever. We don't need to worry about it. Well, I can really make an impact there. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is pretty
I'm not
cool.
sure. What's going on with TikTok?
TikTok. All right, so TikTok has now launched Gmeng AI, a software that generates videos from text. This is not the first time a Chinese company has developed an AI. They are trying to compete with Sora, right? And
Yep.
Runway, is it? No, there's a whole bunch of these. Now ByteDance has their own, or TikTok has their own. It is now available in the App Store in China. You pay separately for this, right? What do you think? Is this just another? Have you seen the videos from here?
I think the one you're talking about is Kling, the AI
Oh
text to
yeah,
video model that is in China that seemingly is to the level of Sora. Looks cool. I kind of want to give it a try. I think it's open to all users now. You just need an email address, so that's interesting. I feel like we're gonna start seeing like so much more spam videos on video feeds. Like faceless channels continue to rise, and just all this content being made, but like it's not like you're not seeing real people anymore. I think it's just gonna continue to increase and increase. And I'm not sure I love that part of it.
I don't know. I still think the AI videos are pretty terrible. All the ones I've seen are like meh. I mean, like, they're
They're
impressive.
improving very
I
quickly,
always I
and
always like to
yeah,
ask the question: would this be as impressive if it took the same amount of time as a regular professional? Right?
yeah,
Would this text generation be impressive if it took 3 days to write, like someone, a copywriter? Is this video as impressive as if it took, 4 weeks to write? Or is it just that it was fast? Right.
hmm
And just being fast isn't like the reason. Like, Hollywood's not pumping out a movie every week, right? They have all this time, and not only because, like, it takes a while to make the movie, but they need to market the movie. They need to,
yeah,
get interest about the movie. They want, the movies to be in the theaters for a while. They need to make a certain amount of, like, there's a cadence to it that, oh wow, we can make a video in a day. Okay, well, you can't release the new video every day. Like, you just don't have enough people to
yeah.
watch it to make it worthwhile.
I was watching the Olympics, and there was a commercial that came out for a company. I forget what it was, but it was like a 30-second spot, and it was AI. Like it just had to be AI. I was just looking. I'm like, wait a second, this looks real, but it's just not quite real. I think this is just all AI at this point. I'm not sure, but it's just like it's one of the. And then my instant thought was, oh, like we're there. Like it's like we're there. We're like,
Yeah.
it's it's an
Well, like
interesting time.
remember the Kanye spot,
No,
the Super Bowl commercial with Kanye, which is basically him on a camera on his phone in the car recording a video, and he's like kind of unhinged and kind of crazy.
what's
But he's
new?
basically like, "Hey, well, we ran out of money. Like, we put all the money to buying the spot. We didn't have enough money to make the video, and so he's like, "This is the video. Buy my shoes." Right.
Yeah,
And so, like, that's kind of what that message comes across is like, it replaces that kind of thing.
yeah,
Should we have more of
yeah.
that? I don't know.
At least that's authentic. It's real. But I don't know. I also came across something lately where I was talking to a local business here, and they were weighing proposal options for marketing agencies, and the
Mhm.
person in charge was like, "Yeah, my boss, he really likes this one agency because they have an AI marketing platform that they use." And he pretty much said, do anything with AI at this point, right?
Yeah,
Just like trying to, work with companies or attach themselves to AI because it's such a buzzword around,
yeah,
right? So it's just it's happening across all industries. I'm personally getting really sick of just seeing like the chatbots in every company now. It's like, on
yeah.
Upwork, I was just there. It's like, hey, here's a chatbot. And it's like it's starting to feel very diluted in that chatbot way. So I don't love what I'm seeing there, but otherwise, like just building a no code, like I'm rebuilding No Code Alliance at the moment, and it's so good. It's almost there. I'm so excited to launch it.
Yeah.
But I also am just integrating AI into like the most simple things. Like there's a new thing where you can submit a bug. And so I'll take the submission of the bug and then I feed it to AI to expand on the bug and to like capture their screen. It's like give me a lot of context just so
Mhm.
I have really good bug reports so I can fix it. And it was literally like a 5 minute additional thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like this is so overkill, but like when I could do it so quickly, like why not? I don't know. It's just like it's
I
really
mean,
fun
that
to
is
use
a
no code and
value
AI
to you,
together. It's a
right?
value to me. Yeah.
That's not a thing that hurts or changes the customer experience.
No. But it's like oh, it could be overkill. It's like why are you spending extra time to do this? But it's just like it's so quick these days. And if it's just gonna help me make a better platform by giving me more context that I need to solve whatever they're doing, great, let's do it. And it's just it's a beautiful time to be building with no code and AI because you could just do so much. It's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a really cool time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get
Well,
on to the
speaking of
interview?
no code and AI, oh, I do want to say one other thing.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the platform we have today. No code as a adjective on platforms. I don't think just because you don't type code makes it a no code platform. Because
Sure.
most platforms are not, right? Google Meet is not a no code platform because I can send out invites without coding it. No code is I'm building a new app without code or an automation without code,
Sure.
not just like everything's no code if you don't write a line of code. That's that's my thing.
It gets hard, some people just still understand like no code, oh, it's just going to be easy, but there's still like fundamentals that you need to learn of just web development and how things work and URLs and all this kind of stuff. And so, yeah, no code, it's a hard one. It's very
Yeah.
broad. It
Yeah.
can
I
be
mean, we use the
misleading in
word
that
no
way.
code because it adds to this, like I'm a no coder, so I should be using no code tools, right? Um, like Airtable, like Excel is not a no. I wouldn't say Excel is a no code tool, right?
No, but like it's
No, the answer is
powerful like
no.
that
The
of
answer is
a
just
no
no.
code
It's
tool.
not. It's
Yeah.
just a different thing. It's just not a no code tool. Like we can't have
You
everything
can
be a
make
no
charts
code.
with it and everything. Like
Okay,
it's
let
like
me
the
ask:
earliest
is a
no code tool.
calculator a no code tool?
No, that's not.
No, it's not. Right? I mean,
No,
but
but
like,
like with Excel, you could do like formulas and charts and tables and all this kind of stuff without writing any code.
well, I could
And
do
so,
all
like,
those things on my TI-89 calculator. That's not a no code builder either, right? It's just like a
well,
math program, right? Like,
those were the jam back in the
I mean,
days.
I have played games on those most of the
Yeah, I
time.
had Tetris.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like that's the point, right? Like it must be some kind of line I think, I don't know. Like, wasn't Webflow was the creator, the person who coined no code, didn't they?
Speaking of Webflow, did you see all their layoffs? It's like I haven't seen like they kind of they did an updated pricing. They kind of announcing some kind of a restructure and a realignment.
I didn't see
But
that.
yeah, they had a lot of layoffs last week, and they haven't been very clear with what they're up to. But it just seems like they may have gotten bloated, and now they're kind of
Yeah,
realigning
eight
to more of
percent
an
of their
AI
staff.
website. What'd you say?
8% of their staff.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
and so. Yeah, we also kind of seen in the stock market of going up and coming down. I think there's just some alignments happening now with this newer technology. People
Yeah.
now kind of understanding where it's going and just making adjustments to get there. I think
Well,
what goes up comes down, and what goes down comes up, and so it's just a natural part of it. But yeah,
yeah. I mean, this is pretty normal. I would agree, but it sucks and always sends really bad signals. I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna hire different people.
yeah. All right, should we get on to the interview now?
Let's get on to the interview. Now, a quick break for our sponsor of This Week in No Code.
If any of you guys are looking to learn more about Bubble, whether you're a beginner or a professional looking to get certifications and take your skills to the next level, you got to check out NoCode Alliance. It's been a personal project of mine for the last 2 to 3 years. I have 5 different courses there, all focusing on Bubble and taking you from zero to pro. And these courses tell you everything you need to know to start earning 6 figures as a Bubble developer. So go to nocodealliance.org, either get started with the beginner course or take our package and go from zero to pro in the next 3 to 6 months, and you won't regret it. That's nocodealliance.org. Back to the show. Here we are with Sam, the CEO of Assign AI. Sam, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. You have a really cool product. Why don't you give us the one-liner about it?
Sure. Assign AI was founded to really help folks that don't have any background in AI, automation, really non-technical users, typically business owners that are really short on time and don't have several hours a week that they could actually go into these existing no-code tools to create very basic automation. So we've created something that streamlines and makes it super easy for the non-technical small business owner to create such automation and also embed very powerful human-like reasoning AI capabilities embedded within the workflow as well.
And so, when did this start? When did you start Assign AI?
Sure. So the idea kind of came about, I would say, roughly a year ago. Kind of made a decision to actually pursue this just about that time after doing extensive research on what the market looks like. And then we've developed it over about 6-7 months. And now we've got, I would say, the MVP product. It's far from something robust, but we're excited to see what the journey will look like.
Very cool. And for those at home, I think we'll show a demo in a coming minutes, but a quick recap is you can record your screen of any kind of task that you're doing, and then you submit the recording, and then Assign AI will automatically create those workflows to replicate that task for you in an ongoing fashion. Is that it?
That's it. So
Boom.
just to add on what you just mentioned, we wanted to make it as easy as recording a Loom video, where Loom videos kind of take away the need of actually having meetings to some extent, where you just record your screen, provide and share exactly what you'd like to discuss, and send it to a colleague or whatnot. So we kind of made it very similar to Loom, where again, you record your screen, accomplishing a task, a workflow, an automation. It would then replicate that on the back end, so you can kind of have it run based on your preference.
Cool. And what were you doing before this?
Yeah, so I would say for the last close to 11 years, my background is in commercial real estate. So we
I saw
own
the
and manage.
Yardi come up before we started recording. That makes sense. I'm familiar with Yardi. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy you mentioned the word Yardi because that would actually explain better how I got to Assign AI. So I was running and still run part-time a real estate investment firm where we own and manage commercial properties nationwide. I was a very small business. I still am a small business on the real estate side, and kind of saw that some of our employees were doing very repetitive tasks all day, every day. And we weren't catching our breath. Literally, we were just all over the place trying to do 30 different things, wearing many different hats. I would say with the rollout of ChatGPT, I kind of saw that there's definitely some sort of kind of got that aha moment of seeing what AI capabilities are like, and kind of felt that there's got to be a better solution to small business owners. So I've never dreamed that I would actually go out there myself and open and kind of go through the startup route as well. That was the last thing that I would ever imagine. So the first, I would say, step towards this journey was really going out there and trying to create automations using I call it traditional automation tools that typically have API connectors. I'm not sure how familiar you
Like
are with those.
Make and a Zapier, those kind of things.
Yeah, I don't like to mention
Gotcha.
necessarily any automation competitors, or so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely saw there's some learning curve. It definitely is very tedious and definitely takes time. Obviously, for the folks that have agencies or kind of do this all day, every day, it's fairly easy to kind of create automations using the traditional automation tools. However, as a small business owner myself, I do not have the 10 hours spare time to kind of build out these automations. And even that wouldn't get me with too far with building out what I need. And then in addition to that, there was also, they didn't have like AI embedded capabilities within those workflows that are native to those automation tools. But the most important part, why I really set out to accomplishing this, besides for the ease of use that I did not see and the learning curve that I did not see with traditional automation tools, were also that the primary software that we used in the real estate management space was a software called the Breeze Premier, which, as you mentioned earlier, you kind of know that software. It's a great software. However, they don't have any open APIs.
I'd throw an asterisk on the great software. Great software. It is software.
Yeah.
Sam's nice.
Yeah.
No, I think there's never 100%, especially I'm in the software game myself right now. I would say there's never 100%. You can never address 100% of users' needs at all time. But I would say on a general basis, yes, great software there. And they don't have
let me ask a question here. So you're a real estate pro and you're thinking, hey, I'm tired of my team is doing too much work. They can't breathe. We need to get them some help. ChatGPT does stuff, but it's not really embedded in their workflow. So let me find a way to wrap AI functionality so they can do more throughout the day. Why go broad, horizontal automation and not just, hey, I've built the most awesome Yardi automation tool?
Great question. Before I answer that question, though, I'd like to just point out a very important point that I was about to address. So Breeze Premier does not have any open API, which even if I wanted to use existing traditional automation tools, I was unable to actually use those automation tools because they primarily work with API. However, with that said, I kind of came across, I wouldn't call it traditional, but enterprise level automation tools. So for super, super large businesses, typically Fortune 500 companies that would spend $50,000 to $70,000 a year for a subscription-based automation tool, that's who they cater to. And they do have powerful automation capabilities where it could create automation without using API. So it kind of lives on top of every software. And therefore, you could also create automations with Breeze, and you could also embed AI capabilities. And it was like an aha moment where these really powerful automation tools that don't necessarily only work with API, but also work on top of every software, similar to how a user interacts with the software. That's how we would want this automation to work. Kind of saw that there isn't anyone that's addressing this, as far as I'm concerned, at least in the small business space. So the idea was, okay, could we create something that doesn't require any coding? So kind of like a super easy, simple, no code tool that has embedded AI capabilities within those workflows that could interact with softwares that don't even have API access, or even if they do have API access, some of those actions aren't available because those softwares haven't opened up those API action types. And
so
that pain was so great that I decided, let me just dive right in and let me create a tool geared towards those small businesses. And now to answer your last question, why have we gone horizontal? Why haven't we just focused on one niche market? So I've given that lots of thought, and what did occur to me was most of, I would say, the items that we do need to build out for Yardi, for real estate, are kind of could work in any industry. With that said, if we didn't think it would make sense to limit or market ourselves for one particular industry versus another, if the tools that we're building out for one industry, which in my case was primarily the real estate management space, if it could work for marketing, for bookkeeping, or anything else, let's keep it versatile. So that was the thought process there.
Gotcha. Cool. Why don't we get into a demo? You ready? You okay with that, David?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Sam, why don't you show us what Assign AI is able to do?
Sure, great. Hold on one moment while I share my screen here with you guys. All right. Well, this is Assign AI. Obviously, I've not created any workflows or automations here. We're currently on a chatbot where we kind of see small business owners or employees at small businesses kind of have a friend to interact with regards to their automations, where you could ask questions about automation, about some of your automations. So for example, if I have an automation that runs every day that kind of looks at my sales numbers, instead of me actually running that automation, I could come in over here and I could add, and here's where all the workflows, automations would be. And I could
So
select
this
which
chatbot
automation.
isn't like a replacement to ChatGPT. This is on your data, on whatever previous workflows you've run, because you can schedule these workflows to run periodically or whenever you need them to run. Now you can interact with your data that's been generated from the workflows. Is that right?
Spot on. That's it.
Let's, I guess, if you haven't created any workflows, let's talk about that workflow.
Sure. Let me show you how easy and simple it is to create a workflow using Assign AI. All right. So as soon as I clicked on record new workflow, there is this pop-up that occurs, and I'll click on begin your recording. As you can see, there is this toolbar, recorder toolbar is how we refer to it, that would live atop of every page that I'm about to visit.
Great. So it opened up almost like an iframe where it's like a new browser. And within that new browser, you have that Loom-like record toolbar that you can record the screen, pause the screen, etc.
Yep,
And this is
that's
all
correct.
powered by a Chrome extension too. So you need that as well.
Correct. You have to download the Chrome extension, which if you try to record a workflow prior to downloading the Chrome extension, you'll be triggered to download the Chrome extension.
Cool.
So it says over here, type in my first URL website. So I can go to any website, whether it's Airtable, Software, I can go to Smart Suite of the world. So I kind of use my Google Chrome password manager to store all my username passwords. So I don't have to type in every single time I'm creating an automation, my password and username. So I just click on my name. I'm going to log in here.
And this isn't just saving our username password somewhere. This is a bit more secure than that.
Yeah. So everything is being saved in AWS's encrypted server. So we don't have access to any users' automations. Matter of fact, if they would like us to troubleshoot an automation, we can't even access it on the back end. That's how secure it is. They have to share that automation detail with us, all the details of it, so we can try to replicate the same thing on our end. So none of the user's information is available to us. Now, I'm going to go to reports, and I'm going to go to...
So you've now logged into the software. You're still recording your screen with Assign AI, and you're preparing to do your first workflow.
Yes.
So all of these button clicks are getting tracked as steps in a workflow.
That's correct.
Each click happens. Yeah.
So now I'm on this huge data sheet that's about to open. And instead of me reading this or even going through the steps to actually accomplish this, which typically takes about 3 minutes or so, 2 minutes.
4 things you can do here. What do these different things mean? Analyze, split, repeat, and apply. What's the difference?
Sure. So analyze is, I'm right now on this huge data set. And instead of me going through this data set and find information that I need, I want you to analyze it and provide it for me. Exactly what I'm looking for. Analyze could also do extract, which is like, provide me the vendor's name, invoice number, and amount due, invoice due date. It would return that information as well. That is analyze. We also have split, which is if I'm on a screen, call it Smart Suite, and I have a field type, which is it says attention required or no attention required, and the field type is status. If I want to create an automation, going into my Smart Suite, seeing if there's any under the status field type, anything that says attention required, then I want the AI to take path 1, which is a series of actions. However, if you don't see attention required, then I want you to take a whole different set of actions.
Gotcha.
That is what split is.
This is a conditional step. So you can process it into 2 different steps. Okay, cool.
Correct. Repeat is, I would say, what the world knows as loop, which we thought maybe the word repeat would make it easier for users to understand, which is, I want you to repeat this by opening each unread email. And an unread email is typically in bold. So I want you to repeat this action every time you see an unread bold email. Apply is where you tell the AI, find this button and click on it. Or find where on the page it says compose and click on it. So it's kind of like the AI figures out, you're giving it directions and it's supposed to figure out exactly what you want it to do based on your prompt.
Cool.
So for analyze right now, for example, we're going to say,
so you have this prompt that you're entering into the analyze input to take this data set and to summarize it better for you in this workflow that you're creating.
Exactly. And it's the checkbox said use AI vision. So does that mean it's taking a screenshot of everything and then finding the image or something else?
Yeah, so the AI vision is basically it's got a visual on the screen, and based on your prompt and looking at the visual, it's going to try to figure out what action to take or what to do. We'll be probably removing this, and by default, everything is going to be vision. That's why I haven't mentioned it.
Okay.
And so if I wanted to, I know we don't have to add it into this workflow, but if I wanted to just say, hey, can you go fetch me this list, for example, what would I use for that?
You'd go into the chatbot.
Which of these conditions would I use for, like, I basically want a printout of this list?
So you'd have to provide what our tool is. You're actually creating, to some extent, like your own AI, where you have to first provide a training the same way you train a child how to accomplish something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would go out and repeat it as many times as you'd like that to happen automatically or manually. Right. So what you do is that you would record your screen going to whichever list
I'm talking about this list we're sitting on right now. So is there a step we can add that would say, find me all tenant, like give me the list of all emails or tenants and amounts that are overdue? Or
yeah, that'd be the analyze step, right?
Is that analyze?
Yeah, that's the analyze. And okay. I'm about to show you exactly how that was done.
Okay, so now you've now finished the workflow, Now it goes back to the Assign AI app, and now you're labeling it so you can refer back to it later.
Exactly. So I'm going to name the workflow as tenants late report. Save changes. Now, prior to running the report, I can come in over here to the edit steps. Edit steps is essentially a bunch of blocks, and I love the word blocks because it reminds me of software. And what it does is you can go into every block and you can edit the block, or you can create a new action step or a new block manually without the recorder. You can move a block up and down, or you can duplicate or delete a block.
Great. So just in case your screen recording forgot a step or whatever, you can go in After Effects after the screen recording, add that step, modify that step, and just to make sure you got that precision in this workflow building process.
Exactly. And every step would be either a navigate step, which is navigating to a certain URL, which that is this block over here. And if for some reason, the AI returned the wrong URL or the endpoint was not correct, you could always come in over here and manually type in the URL endpoint or the navigation step. This is clicking on a step. So we can see over here, the description, click on the first item in the list group, which I believe this was the username. And if I want to provide it a better description, assuming it failed at this block, I could come over here and provide a different description if I would like to edit it. Over here's my password, login, and then it reloaded. Now it clicked on the reporting tab on the navigation menu within Yardi. Then it clicked on the tenant option in the navigation menu, and then it clicked on delinquency link. All this seems right, spot on. And then over here is my analyze AI step using vision, where this is my prompt, which tenants are more than 30 days late in payment. Now, if it's going to return a value that I'm not happy with, you don't have to worry. You don't have to think twice before actually even writing that prompt. All you need to do is come in over here, you can edit the prompt. Another cool feature that we have as well is that you could toggle, you could change. Let's say I want to change this AI step to a navigation step. I could toggle between block types and change those after the fact.
Sure. So this workflow is going to log into your account, navigate to the right page, and then take the data from this data set and return it to you with that condition of the 30 days late. Where is it going to return that data?
So as soon as I run it, you'll see exactly where the data will be returned. So I clicked on running workflow. Another cool feature that we do have as well is you could see the AI perform in real time. So traditional automation tools, everything happens to the back end, and all you get is either it failed at a certain step, or it was success, or you see what occurred as the end result, but you don't actually see it happening in real time. I kind of felt for the small business owner that's creating these automations, they probably would like to see, especially when they're trying to troubleshoot and they're creating an automation, exactly what occurred. So as this is running right now, you can see step one and navigated to this URL. It's actually completing this. It's going up to step 6. The last one was it clicked on the login button. If you click the play button, you'd see these blocks. Actually, here's my username, just entered my password. It clicked login over here.
So we're essentially seeing a replay of your screen that was recorded, but it's now being run live with this automation.
Yes, this is actually steps that are occurring live. And there's going to be more block populate as it's on that step. So not all these are going to be available. This video won't be all available as soon as you run the automation. As it actually runs that step, it will create new blocks for the video for you to view in real time. Here you go. This is actually it's analyzing it for me, and it's saying, okay, the tenants that are more than 30 days late in payment at this property is Schilling Wealth Management, Growth Design Group, Wilson Financial, and it also says the amount. All right. So we have something here called logs, where every single time the automation runs, it would have a log of when it ran.
Sure.
It would have the date, the time, and you could actually, assuming I have over here several logs with different dates and different times, I could click on that and see what the output and the result was of that workflow and play back the video of that workflow and automation. So here's the
Gotcha.
output. And answer your question earlier, JJ, here is where you'd have that information.
Could you then have that information like Slack to you each day of just like, hey, just run this every day and just Slack me the results kind of thing?
Great question. So 2 things over there. That was a request that several users had actually requested. Happy you mentioned this. So if you come back over here, you see output options. Currently, we have sent output by email, but
Okay.
we will be adding, based on user requests, more options such as Slack, sending it to a certain data set or whatnot. Based on user request, this is something that is new just as of this week, actually,
Gotcha.
having
Cool.
that sent. In addition to that, I would say you could also continue building the workflow, going into your Slack or going into your email and then telling the AI, like click on compose a new email and then hit the apply button when that email is composed and say, type in here this email address in the body of the
You
email,
could have it right in an
write
email.
the output. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this
Gotcha.
dynamic in the sense of, let's say, and this is, I guess, why I was asking certain questions about like being verticalized. Could you take the output of the analysis and go, okay, great, here are the emails from this analysis, email these 5 people based on this step? Or is that then still manual? Or could I build it in a way, go to the first one, go to the second one, if there are 3, go to the third one, if there are 4, go to the fourth one? Is that something I could build in as well?
Which is
And send an
sending
email?
emails to several different parties.
Yeah, so like in this report, it would go to Yardi, find me the tenants that are over 30 days past due. Go to the first tenant that's over 30 days past due. Okay, send them an email, go to Gmail, click compose, type the email, type the body, hit send, go back to Yardi, find the second one, and kind of just automate that whole thing as well.
Yes, that's something that it should be able to do. Again, I haven't tested it. So anything I haven't personally tested, I can't make representations of. We do have the capability of doing that within Yardi. So I could right now have the AI say, all right, you just analyzed exactly who's late. Now I'm going to go to all my tenants, which is listed over here in Yardi.
Yeah.
Click on the tenants. So instead of ending the workflow after analyzing that step, I would navigate to tenants, which would list all my tenants. I would then click on the apply AI tool, which is listed in the AI toolbox. And I would say, click on the tenant that's listed first on the analyze on what you've
So you
analyzed
can
that are
use
more
the
than 30
results from
days
other
late.
steps.
You can.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe I'm going a little bit too technical here, but the AI is supposed to right now understand, okay, the first tenant that was late in payment was, let's say, Shill and Wealth Management. I need to find right now on this tenant list, Shill and Wealth Management, click into that tenant. And then within that profile, we have in Yardi Breeze the capability of sending them an email. So you just click the button called email, and I could manually click on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say, type in over here that they're late in payment, X amount of days, and then click the send button.
Yeah.
Got it.
And add that onto your workflow. So like every month you can create a workflow with Assign AI to check everyone's late and then just to send them an email automatically to letting them know that they're X number of days late.
Yes.
And of course, this is just an arbitrary example. You can just do about this in any site pretty much. You haven't tested them, but it should work in many ways in many different sites.
Yes.
So
Just want to make
as we
full.
kind of think to wrap up a little bit here, what's coming next for Assign AI? What's the grand vision of this?
Yeah, great. So we're really passionate about really freeing up time for small business owners that don't have the capital resources to hire several different people for very specific roles. And that's kind of what we're really passionate about here at Assign AI. We're really coming across many different things that it could accomplish and things that it can accomplish. We're really are building, what we're really building here is a community of small business owners that are sharing our workflows with us, assuming they can accomplish it themselves. And we're trying to identify, okay, what features do we really need to work on next that we see across several different use cases that we need to focus on building out further.
Are there any specific workflows that you're most excited about?
Yeah, as far as workflows that I am super excited about, I do have the capabilities of going right now into my LinkedIn, which again could not be accessed using traditional API tools, automation tools. And I could have it go in each month and analyze my metrics to see which posts have done better than others, rather than having someone report that to me, amongst other LinkedIn related tasks. Definitely, obviously, for the very reason that we've created this, I definitely see some value within Yardi Breeze Premier. And as far as I would say, what we're really excited about is really working hands-on with our users. We've got a intercom over here where we've got a help center, but even more so, you could message us. We promise to get back to you within the same business day, and really holding your hand throughout the automation process until you kind of feel comfortable enough, rather than saying, all right, here's the docs, figure it out yourself, or hire someone. Yeah. That's something that we're really passionate about. The world is also there's kind of this buzzword. I know AI is a buzzword, but there's another buzzword called AI agents. I don't want to say that we're building agents, but one of the features that we're currently looking at, which is once I run this workflow, I could add a block that would say via prompt and say, if this condition is true, so if there are actually 30 tenants that are more than 30 days late in payment, then I want you to chain or link a different workflow to kick off based on what the results and the condition of this workflow. And we could call a workflow agent, so to say, and have each agent trained to do something else and to pass information from one agent to another. We're also really excited about a different feature, which is a copy and paste feature, where currently Analyze does pretty well extracting information or copying information. We're currently building out a feature that would help better with pasting information into either a form, Excel, any data set, where you would take a screenshot of the entire page that you're looking to copy. And then when you're on the page that you like to paste that information into, the AI should be able to figure out itself without you mapping it out where to place what. However, if it did fail, you would still have a mapper that it would pre-fill as it sees fit, that you can then toggle and further define. So instead of you mapping out every last item that you've copied into which field, it would show you everything that it believes it should, kind of where it belongs, and you still have the ability to toggle that, speeding up that process.
With that copy paste, we would be able to copy that table of delinquent tenants and put it into an Excel spreadsheet.
Correct.
Cool. Well, this has been a really awesome demo. So much that you can do with this. I was building an automation earlier to go to a bunch of different news websites and scrape NoCode and AI news and use that and send it over by email once a week. Pretty cool for us. Now, Sam, as we get going, how can people find you online? How do people follow along?
Sure. Assign AI is our website in our comments I mentioned earlier.
AI.com.
Yep. In addition to that, we're very active on LinkedIn. We also have, if anyone has any feature requests, we have on our website in the help and resources, a link to our feature request, which you could add any features that you have, so the community could vote on those features to see if those are things that they're be interested in. Those are kind of the best ways to contact us.
Awesome. Well, we'll send them your way. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you sometime soon.
All right.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I'll remember.
So yeah, it's a really cool product, a Loom-like video that will just create workflows for you in an automated way. And you don't need to understand the step-by-steps, all that kind of, it just does it for you automatically. I think it's early, but there's a lot of promise in something like this. I'd also like how focused he is of the small business person doesn't want to get into Zapier, even though that's easy. They don't even want to get there. That's not easy enough. So just record your screen. We'll take care of the rest. I think that's a good entry point.
Yeah. Every automation platform has a blank page problem. How do I
Yeah.
start? What do I do? What do I do next?
Yep.
And they're attacking this by just saying, watch me, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what you do. I don't know how to describe it to somebody. I don't know how to write the SOP in Zapier language or Make
Right.
language. But now you get to go, hey, you can just see what I see and just do it. And right and do that same thing again.
Yeah.
It's
I also
it's
love how
magical.
universal it is. It doesn't need to have an API or anything. It pretty much just uses your credentials to access the same thing that you're accessing to
Yeah.
just do it for you. So I think that's
Yeah.
a really cool vehicle to enabling AI, especially for
Yeah.
first time users. It's early, but I'm excited to see what they do next.
Yeah, I hope they add one of the things as I was playing around with it. I wish there were some like starter workflows,
Ah, I see.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
some
hey, here's the
suggestions.
thing I did with this, right? Because
Yeah.
I sat there for a little while and I was like, what would I have it do? Like, what do I
Yeah.
need it
Yeah.
to happen right now?
Yeah.
And
That's
so
the blank
maybe
page
that's just like,
problem.
yeah, that's just the day, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Find some popular tasks like, hey, go check my LinkedIn, review all my likes, respond to those that have commented on my post,
yeah,
and do that every day. And
yeah,
that's something they could do for you using your kind of
yeah,
tone, generating that text.
yeah. Like, you know how they say, like, one of the best ways to find one of these, like, secret hacks to find engagement is to like do a really complicated Twitter query of like find somebody with 1 million followers and who has posted within the last like minute. And then because they're going to get a lot of engagement, but you want to be like the first one there. Because then
Oh,
lots of people will engage with you as the first and you
oh,
comment with something or share something or whatever. And so that would be an interesting like, okay, great, every hour or every 20 sub minutes, go find an account,
yeah.
read their post and reply and submit it before, hope you get some interesting
Yeah.
like results from that.
There's a lot of ways you could take it. That's the cool part
Yeah.
about it is it's very
Yeah.
universal. But
That's
well,
cool.
I think that's it, though. I think we'll see you next
I
week in
think
No Code plus
I,
AI.
I think we'll see you next week in No Code plus AI.
All right, so we'll see you next week in No Code plus AI. See you guys. All right.